Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. It's me, Mitch. Today I'm wearing a different t-shirt, and it says, what's a good time of day to eat a steak? And there's a flow chart on it. It asks one question: what time is it? And no matter what the answer, it goes down here and says, yes. That's how easy it is. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it is. So let's start out with the most important thing in the morning, and that is to drink it if you got it. Yes. And as I wait for people to arrive, to find their way in here on this hump day, I will start off, as I usually do, with my kilts comment of the day, because that seems to be what's on my mind first thing in the morning, and how could it not be? Because I usually watch that show, and I watched this morning. It was an interesting guest, Jeff from the 3C Chopa Ranch. Where do I start? I think he's doing a great job. I think given the economy and the costs of trying to run a small ranch, and 150 head is a small ranch, not benefiting from any of the economics of scale, while having to maintain enough land to raise that many cows, is not a business model, unfortunately, that our society is set up for. And the topic came up, why are so many people selling their ranches? Because they're losing money. They're losing money. And it's all about economy. It's all about capitalism. It's what we got in this country. So complaining about it doesn't do any good. It's not going to change. It has never changed. It never will change as long as we don't become a communist country. And even then, now you got the government in charge of everything, and that's worse. So it may not be an ideal situation, but it is America, and it is what we got, and it is what we have to learn how to live with. Complaining about these things, and I can tell you from personal experience, it doesn't change a thing. It doesn't change. It hasn't changed. It won't change. We're stuck with it. And our smartest course into the future is not to try to completely overhaul. We can't turn America into 250,000 small ranchers and no Tyson Foods and no Cargill and no Monsanto, because that's what we got. Whether we asked for it or not, I don't know. But as long as we're a capitalist country, as long as the most important thing to a big corporation is shareholder value, it's not going to change. Compassion is used as a marketing tool to fool us. That's the reality of it. And in the course of my daily life, I'm bombarded with marketing information and very little truth about the actual reality of things. Rick's was prolific. Rick, you were prolific in your comments today. And you're a very unique individual, and I love you, man. But there isn't one of us that can be or live like you do in this world. You're very rare. And your advice is great, but it won't work for all the rest of us. We're not going to chase iguanas around the yard. We can't. We can't live your life. In theory, or distilled down to its essence, you're living like a caveman, and probably better off than most of us. But most of us just can't do what you do, unfortunately. Most of us are stuck trying to do what I do, and that is live in a community where I'm not allowed to have animals, buy all my food from one of these large retailers somewhere. Excuse me. Lubricated a little. And we should be talking about the best way to live with the way it is and what we got. And do carnivore. And do the lifestyle. Also this morning, my brain hurt from some of the comments I read. I commented on one particular comment and I used the word moronic because my brain was hurting when I read that comment. And once again, my friend Kiltz showed that he's a smart man. He knows the reality and truth of human nutrition and how it works, and how simple it can be explained, and how easy it is, how uncomplicated it is, and how we overcomplicate it to the nth degree with all of this. Let me call it what it is. It's bullshit. It's bullshit that can't be true. And the comment I was talking about was the one that says, you can't eat cattle who had stress in their life because you'll eat, in essence, you will eat their stress and become stressed yourself. My brain exploded when I read that, and it was up on the screen for a long time, and I was curious. I said, well, how's Kelsey going to answer? So he first asked Jeff, the rancher, and Jeff agreed 1,000% with it. Unless you eat happy cows, content cows, you can't possibly be healthy or get nutrition from it. My head exploded. My head exploded. What world do these people live in? Do they not understand the basic chemistry of nutrition? Do they not know that you can't eat stress? You can't eat stress. You can only eat the chemical makeup of the food you're eating. And the only thing you're going to get out of it is the basic components when it's broken down into digestion. And you can't digest stress. What an absurd concept. And then there was another concept later on. I can't eat eggs anymore. My eggs are not real eggs. What planet do you live on? What bullshit propaganda have you been buying into to actually get a mindset like that? any egg. I don't care if it's the cheapest supermarket egg from the sickest hen. If that's all you can afford for 62 cents a dozen, whatever it is, and they have light yellow yolks and all this other stuff, if that egg can be fertilized and that fertilized egg can hatch into a chicken, then as bad as you might think that egg is, and maybe it's not optimal, it still has every nutrient needed for life, evidenced by the fact that a chicken comes out of it. We are so misled by the marketing bullshit that we see. And if I can convey only one message to people who watch me, it's that don't believe any of this grass-fed, grain-fed, grain-finished, fat ratio, omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, pasture-raised eggs, caged eggs. If that egg can become life, then that egg has maybe not an optimal amount of all these nutrients, but certainly most of the nutrients that you're going to need to be healthy. And the only thing we have to think of, I believe, to make up for these things that are missing from the food that we buy is, should we supplement a little here and there? The very basic stuff. The lack of electrolytes that give you leg cramps at night. You know if you need it. I keep harping on this. Keep it simple. I don't know what world everybody else is living in. But I can tell you, I spend less money on food than I've ever spent in my life. I'm as healthy as I can possibly be living in this world, eating eggs, bacon, and ground beef mostly, and an occasional ribeye as a treat. My ground beef costs me $5 a pound. I buy those frozen patties from Sam's Club. Evidently, since I'm still alive, my brain works, I'm recovering from a stroke, I have no other health conditions, take no drugs, I eat frozen burger patties from Sam's, I eat Sam's Club pasture-raised eggs, and I eat Wright's thick-cut bacon, and I'm prospering on that, and I'm not spending much money. A meal of a half a pound of bacon and 6 eggs cost me, what, $3, $4? A meal of 3 of those frozen hamburger patties, which is a full pound, cost me $5. On most days, I don't even spend $10 for food. And I'm prospering. And I'm never hungry. One of the signs that you're properly nourished is your lack of hunger and cravings. If there was anything missing from that Sam's Club cheap carnivore lifestyle diet that I eat, it would show up. My body would know that there's something missing, and I would start to crave it. I have no cravings now whatsoever. I don't think about food. I don't spend any of my day wishing, what do I want to eat? What do I want to eat? I eat the easiest to eat stuff, and I'm so satisfied all the time and never feel deprived. Food is not in my daily wheelhouse anymore. It might be because of my lifestyle, whatever. We need to keep it simple. And kudos to my friend Kiltsy for disagreeing with that statement that if we eat a cow that had stress, that we're going to become stressed out from the food we eat. That is a chemical impossibility. Because I don't care what you put in your mouth, within a short period of time, it is going to be an acidic soup in your stomach broken down into amino acids, fats, sugars, and waste products that you can't use. That's it. And I'm living proof, and I try to use myself as an example. I'm trying to say it works, and I'm doing it in the cheapest, simplest way that anybody that can't walk outside, go to the canal, and catch iguanas. I couldn't do that anyway, not after my stroke. I can't be running after iguanas. I'm lucky I can walk. I can walk as well as I do right now. So I'm stuck trying to make the best of what I got. And it works. And I know why it works. It works because, and it's a statement from Ken Berry that I so totally agree with. He says, it doesn't matter how much money you got. If all you can afford is Spam and hot dogs, you're still eating a healthier diet than any vegan or vegetarian, period. If it comes from an animal, I don't care what they do to it, your chances of getting everything you need is much greater, much greater. That's why I don't worry about the fact that I don't even care what's in these frozen hamburger patties. They taste good. They're 80-20. They say Angus on the label. It's just beef and salt, not a lot of chemicals. They stay frozen. It takes me 11 minutes in the air fryer to go from frozen to my plate. 3 of those things is a great meal. And if I eat nothing every day, but bacon, eggs, and beef, I'm getting everything I need, or I would be craving something. We have, and this is an important thing to remember, we have the ability to live as an animal without conscious thought. We come from animals that weren't sentient, that didn't think, that didn't need to figure things out, operating totally by instinct. When they got hungry, they didn't think, well, I'm hungry, what do I want to eat? They were impelled by emotion and instincts to just go out and kill something and eat it. And they knew what it was. They knew what it was. You don't see your dog munching on your landscaping outside. You don't see your dog or cat eating grass, or any plants for that matter, unless you feed it to them. They're out hunting rats. Chickens are a little more omnivorous, but you don't see carnivores. Nobody has to tell them what to eat. We're like that. We're carnivores. We become carnivores as we departed and went our separate ways from the animals that we descended from. So we have the ability, if we could turn off this stupid conscious mind of ours, to live by our instincts. And one of those instincts is craving. And when we're short of any really essential nutrients, especially amino acids, our brain puts us in food hunting mode. We're in food hunting mode. We know we need something, but we're not quite sure what it is. And that's when we find ourselves standing mindlessly in front of the refrigerator or the cupboard without even knowing how come we even got up and walked there and opened the door and are staring. That's because our subconscious mind knows there's something we're short of, and the only way we can be sure to get it, not knowing anything about nutrients, as if we're a dumb animal, not knowing what an amino acid is, not knowing what an electrolyte is. It just knows we're short of something, and it puts us on a mission to just start eating everything in sight, hoping if we eat everything, something is bound to contain that one thing that we need. But we don't. The animals can't analyze it, get their blood tested. If you're not like me, automatically and mindlessly finding yourself standing in front of the cupboard or the refrigerator 10 times a day, you're doing it right. And the proof is the fact that you're not standing in front of the refrigerator. You're doing it correctly. You don't need anything. And evidently, bacon, eggs, and frozen ground beef patties contain everything I need, or I would find myself wandering around trying to figure out what I want to eat. Because that's how it works. It's just that simple. Just that simple. So I can tell you from personal experience that if you don't live next to a canal where you can go out and hunt iguanas, which is a great thing, and ducks, and all the way that Rick gathers his food, if you can't do what he does, and none of us can, we have to settle for dealing with the merchants out there and the high prices. And there are ways that we can do carnivore. We can dehydrate bacon. We can make a big chuck roast. We can use the cooking techniques and the tools and the air fryers and whatever we have to make it so there's no work, no thought, no nothing. And when you eat the right amount of the right food every day, everything works. You get healthy. You lose weight. You don't have to have goals. You don't have to measure. You can't go wrong. I don't hear people talk enough about the fact that I think everybody trying to live a carnivore lifestyle should eat at least 4, if not more, eggs every day, or at least 5 days a week. It's the perfect collection of every single nutrient the human body needs. It's got all the fat you need. It's exactly the right proportions. We were so brainwashed, and society was so brainwashed in this nonsense about cholesterol and eggs, you shouldn't eat eggs, that they almost put the eggs industry out of business before somebody finally realized that they're telling us not to eat the healthiest foods on the planet, which is like bacon and eggs, fatty meat, and an egg which contains everything that is necessary to create a life. And that is not a theory, because every time an egg hatches, it's proof. It's proof, or there wouldn't be a chicken. Everything needed to create a living organism that could go on to become food is in the egg, and it has to have been in the egg because the egg is sealed, and it never gets opened until the end result, and the chicken comes out. That's what I call a real trial with real evidence, uncorruptible. And we talk about whether the chicken's getting enough nutrients. How can the egg be bad if it comes out of a living chicken who is eating the right nutrients to make them fertile? Look what happens to we humans when we poison ourselves. What's the first thing to go? Ask Kelsey. Fertility. An animal that isn't healthy cannot reproduce. If key nutrients are missing, an animal cannot reproduce. If a chicken can lay an egg, that chicken is healthy enough to eat, as far as I'm concerned. And the egg is healthy enough to eat, because if the chicken was that unhealthy, it wouldn't be able to lay eggs. So we way overdo this stuff, and we open ourselves up to all the pitchmen and con men and propagandists out there who use our ignorance, not stupidity. We're not stupid people, but we're certainly ignorant about the truths, and we lay ourselves open to every pitch for everything that's very expensive and is sold to us as the magic answer. And the more we got YouTube, and the more people on YouTube discover that they can make a little money, and I suppose I'm guilty of that. You know, I make a commission if you buy an air fryer or a vacuum sealer. Well, those, as far as I'm concerned, are two necessary tools to do carnivore. But you don't see me in the supplement business, and you don't see me selling gadgets with red lights in them for exorbitant amount of money or any of that crap. I talk common sense. I do it cheap, and I tell you how I do it. And that's it. That's it. And I make no money on YouTube. And I've given up trying. Given up trying. And working so hard making videos that YouTube doesn't want to show to anybody. Very frustrating. So I come on here live to try to talk common sense, use myself as an example, and once again I have burned the first half hour of my morning show. Ranting and raving about simple, basic truths that have to be obvious. The hard part is explaining them in a way that makes sense. I'll never make sense to the guy that thinks he can't eat meat from a stressed cow. Well, what are you going to eat instead? Are you going to spend $30, $40, $50 a pound for an 8-ounce ribeye? We can't do that. Are you going to go on some crusade? I'll starve before I'll support the big food companies. Well, you're going to starve. We got a system. It's what we got. The smartest thing any of us can do is make the best of it. Figure out where can I get the most nutrition for the buck. It may not be as optimal as you think, but I'm living proof that is certainly more than adequate. I may eat one ribeye a week as a treat, but primarily I get my nutrition and my protein from salmon fillets once or twice a week, some shrimp maybe as a little variety. Instead of bacon and eggs, I might make a shrimp omelet. That's pretty much my variety. And it seems to be working. It seems to be working. So I'll stop ranting now. But I have to call out this stuff when I see it. And hopefully, the reason people come in here to listen to me is they say, well, that sounds reasonable. I don't talk about things that would be illogical and unreasonable. I try to talk reason and common sense. So maybe I should say hi to people. If you have any questions for me, put QQQ in front of them. Any topics you think you might want to talk about. I may actually have a visit from Kelsey here this week or not. He's in Orlando doing some kind of flight simulator work for either recertification or something like that. And turns out he came into our live stream last night, and I talked to him, and he's gone to Simcom, a company that has a whole place full of simulators, and they're like a licensed certification and training agency. And coincidentally, 30 years ago, I used to go there too. In fact, they had a Beach Baron, twin-engine Beach Baron simulator, and I spent a little time in that. So, small world. And he's going to be in Orlando. And it was so cool to have him. He was driving up. I thought he was in his airplane. He had his headphones on. He's in the car. He was riding, and he came onto our live stream last night. It was good, good. If you missed it, watch the replay of it. It was very nice. Anyway, Lori Weitzel usually first one in with Lady June early last night, and we have Mike Seeley from Tampa, and Brian Dish was here early at 6:40 a.m. We had Mike Seeley Sr., father of United Carnivore, coming over to my house tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. to smoke a cigar. And any of you that might be in the neighborhood are welcome to stop by. If you send me an email, I'll tell you where I live. Because I know you're not going to come here and beat me up. And there are many people out there, believe it or not, that would like to do that. What a world. Rick, how are you, my friend? Good to see you this morning. Lucy Work was here, and who else we have? Robert Mellinson. Good morning, Robert. And Lambs, right on the money. Lambs, right on the money. Yes, as usual, followed immediately by Robbie Autry. Oh, Barry. Is that Barry? No, it's Mary Beth. Mary Beth, please buy some ribeye. Oh, man, that's funny. I love it. I love it. Let me, you see it there in yellow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary Beth. I will do that. I will do that. And I lost my place. Oh, no. Where is that Lambs thing? I know it's there somewhere. I got to scroll all the way back up to the top. Oh, the pearls of being a YouTuber. There it is. Congratulations, Lambs, and Robbie Autry. Larry Ryan, good morning to you. And Lewis. Hiya, Lewis. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. And here we have Steve Rogers, Captain America from Kansas City, Missouri. Superhero in the house. Always good to have one of them around. Never know when the bad guys might come. Aaron, good morning to you. Bride's Biscuit, good morning, good morning. It is a good morning. Oh, my God. 1 o'clock in the morning last night, we had thunderstorms that woke me up, that rattled the windows, rain like a hurricane. I mean, scared. It was scary. It was scary, and it lasted over an hour. And I said, holy shit, Mitch. I turned on the light, put my glasses on, got myself on, and I wanted to see, well, how long is this rain going to last? Because there must be a big front coming through. Normally, they go through. You know, you get about 15, 20 minutes of heavy rain, and then it stops. But this kept going and going and going. It got to be 2 o'clock in the morning. It's still friggin' pouring. I look at the radar, and I don't see any green, except a little bitty thing coming in off the ocean, right where I live. A little tiny little, that basically was like over my house. And it wasn't moving. It wasn't going this way or that way or this way. That was right there. And I've never seen anything like that. And if y'all remember Little Abner, remember Little Abner? No, nobody remembers Little Abner. But there was a character in there, and you can't pronounce his name because it was all consonants. It was Joe Bavis. You know, you couldn't pronounce it. And this guy had a rain cloud that followed him everywhere. It was always raining over Joe. And that was the gag. Well, I felt like that. What the hell? There wasn't a drop of rain anywhere except right over my house and maybe a mile in each direction. And that thing lasted until like 2:30 in the morning before it finally stopped raining. I've never seen a weather pattern like that. But it kind of woke me up. And then I had trouble getting back to sleep after all that. So I've been up since like 1 o'clock in the morning effectively. And here I am. Here I am. Rick said hello. Loretta Nadow, how you doing? Okay, we're going to have to cut the good mornings there because I'll never get to anything after that. And we still got a half hour left, so I want I want to interact a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start scrolling a little faster. Mary Beth says, $52 for a 5.8 pound brisket. That's still almost $10 a pound. Wow, stuff's getting expensive. But if you can get 5 meals out of it, that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, Rick says, it's as silly as the acid-alkaline vegan debate. It's all silly, Rick. It's silly. It's a bunch of people just looking for an excuse to sell something or write a book or build a YouTube channel, wanting to cash in on the incredible money that we all make on YouTube here. You better love doing this. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. Getting worse. And if you don't have a viral video that attracts new people, where YouTube pushes it out to new people, I'm finding that every day I lose 20 subscribers. Pretty soon, if it keeps going like this, I'll be back below 50,000 again. Not that I care, but it is a little disheartening. In this month alone, I've lost 200 subscribers because YouTube just takes them away for some reason or other. These aren't people that say, I hate this guy, I'm going to unsubscribe. YouTube, many of them are probably really old subscribers from my drone days that aren't online anymore, so I understand it. But it is disheartening when every time you log into your studio, you see you had less subscribers than yesterday, and it takes a little bit. You have to learn to ignore that and understand why. So if you see my subscriber count, the other day said 50,000, 50.6, and then it said 50.5, and today it says 50.4, and unless I come up with another greatest hit video, like the last one I did, talking about not having an annual physical that got 250,000 views, I'll be below 50,000 again. I don't care. But it was a monumental number for me, and nobody likes to see that they're backsliding. But YouTube will do that to you in a minute. There's so many ways. And just ask any of our crowd, like Thomas or Amy or Juliet or any of these people that have to work against this prejudice against our community, how disheartening and demoralizing it can be. But I appreciate the support of the small group that we call Misfits that come in here, listen to me rant every day, and hope I'm helping in some way or the other. And Brian says, Mitch Moore can get close to what Rick does if they go back to the old ways. Hunt, work at what you enjoy and what you excel at. Yeah, I agree, unless you have a stroke. I can't hunt anymore. I'm sorry. Can't. Just physically, I'm not up to it. I'm recovering, but that's a multi-year process. At my age, I probably should be dead right by now. And I would be dead if I had gone the traditional, retire at 65, stop working completely. I would have been long since dead. I would have bored myself to death. So sometimes stress is not bad. We can't live without stress. We need stress. Stress is a motivator to action. We need a certain amount of stress in our life. And so does the cow. Stress goes hand in hand with self-preservation, being on alert all the time. Alert for the dangers. No animals live without stress. You don't believe that? You want to have a healthy cat or dog? You got to let them out where they can experience the stress, where they can be looking around. Cats are great examples of that. I've had them both ways. I've had them outdoor cats and declawed indoor cats. The outdoor cats actually were healthier. The indoor cats just sat around and gotten fat and then died. That's what happens to we humans when all of our needs are taken care of and we have no worries in the world. We need stress. We don't need too much stress. We don't need it 24 hours a day. But the fact that somebody said that you can't be healthy if you eat an animal that had a stressful life has absolutely no understanding of biochemistry and digestion and what happens to that food. Running up there with the vegan alkaline nonsense. You can't eat meat because it's too acidic. Obviously, has no idea how digestion works. We must break down everything we consume to its raw materials before we can use those raw materials to rebuild and power our machinery. And if anybody doesn't believe that we're a chemical machine, it's because they've never been exposed to it. Doesn't mean they're stupid. But we are a machine. An organic computer. We have motors that make us move. It's the amazing physiology. Still boggles my mind how it works. Steve says, stop swearing, Mitch. What do you consider swearing? Are you joking with me? I hope you're joking with me. Just don't get me started. Don't get me started on that. Because I said shit, maybe? Does that word shit bother you? Well, we are so effed up in the head with all of the bullshit and crap that we consume these days, trying to adhere to somebody else's bullshit rules and moralities, and holier than thou. Go away if that's what you think. If you can't stand to hear the word bullshit, my friend, you're in the wrong effing place. And that is my one concession, is to use effing instead. But you know what I mean. So fill in the blank. And if you're just busting on me, then I love you. But I will not be disciplined or lectured by anybody. Wow. Wow. Yes. Yes, Steve. A sick egg is good for you. There is no such thing as a sick egg. No such thing as a sick egg. An egg is only a concoction of different chemicals. And if a chicken can come out of an egg, it's not sick. And even if a chicken can't come out of an egg, it's still got a ton of amino acids. It's still got a ton of fats. And if 95% of the content of that egg is healthy, it's good for you. Where do you get your logic and common sense? Is that the same guy that told me I swear too much? Was that him? Steve Marks? Keep it up, Steve. Wow, 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 wow. And I'm such a happy guy. Such a happy guy. Come on here, try to help people. And have to take shit like that. Rick eats out of dumpsters. That's proof. Thank you, Rick. That is absolute proof. Even homeless people manage to stay alive, eating garbage, and as long as that stuff you put in your body contains some of the building blocks and components you need, you'll do okay on it. Thank you for that, Rick. Rick's a living example. I doubt Rick ever has read an ingredient label in his life. But he knows one simple thing. If what you're eating is from an animal, you stand a better chance of prospering. Mary Beth says she loves me. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, I needed that. I needed that today. Yes, I admit some eggs might be more nutritious than others, but we got to be able to make do with what we got available to us and what we can afford. Otherwise, turn off the YouTube. You're only going to get misled, and then you're only going to get stressed out because now you get depressed. I can't do this. Like that person that put the egg comment in Kelsey's thing. I don't eat anymore because I can't get a good egg, so I don't eat eggs anymore. All the eggs out there are trash now. Well, Jesus, what planet are you living on, for God's sake? Mary Beth says, keep it simple. Yes, it is simple. It's so simple that even a caveman can... Oh, wait, a caveman did do it. Watching some of this crap on YouTube makes my brain hurt. It makes no sense. Steve says, so buy supplements instead of better quality food. Got it. My friend, keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up, my friend. You come on here. No, buy bad quality food, Steve. Steve, buy garbage food. Go dumpster diving like Rick. Eat meat. What the hell don't you understand? That you got to keep coming in here with your sarcastic bullshit. Nobody likes you here, Steve. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. And nobody wants to hear from you, especially me. Feel free to sit back and watch. Rob Carter says, how do we know if a cow is depressed? Well, his vet's got him on meds, probably. It's just, oh my God, it's so simple. I love you guys. Even those of you that just doesn't quite get it. I'm sorry, Rick. I make you crave iguana, but that's healthy, so that's a good thing. Oh, I'm so far behind. I'm obviously I'm in a real mood today. I keep saying, don't sweat the small stuff. If it comes from an animal, eat it. Overall, you're going to do better. And the way to tell you're doing better is you're not hungry all the time. You're not thinking about food all the time. Food has lost its importance. Your cravings go away. It's so simple. That creates a huge problem for me on YouTube. What the hell do I talk about? What do I talk about? It's so simple. You don't need to know much. Do what Kilty says. You got two choices. What am I going to eat? So am I going to eat an animal or am I going to eat plants? Well, the answer is simple. Eat an animal. Or some part of an animal. Or something that comes from an animal. You are more likely, regardless of what animal it is, eat bugs, for God's sakes. You're better off eating cockroaches than you are eating spinach salads. It's that simple. There are many cultures where they eat big bugs and do just fine until they find a McDonald's or they start building convenience stores in their country and the 7-Elevens and eating all the sugar crap, and then they get sick. Peter says, I'm behind on this show. Has Mitch blown a gasket by reading Steve Marx's negative comments? Yeah, I put up with it for a while, but I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't need people. Why can't people just don't agree with me, don't like me? Just go away. Go the hell away. And if you're the guy that said you don't like dirty words, go the fuck away. How's that, Steve? Has that got you going finally? Or you just like to make trouble and find fault to show us how fucking smart you are? The anonymity of YouTube lets people just be assholes and not have to be accounted for. Yeah. So the rest of the people don't like you either. Sorry. I'm not trying to hurt you, my friend. I mean, if I became your house guest, if I came to your place and spent the entire time there just bad-mouthing you, you throw me out of my ass. That's what this is. This is my house. Everybody's invited, but not everybody gets the right to come in here and trash me. That is just bad manners. Bad manners. Why do I have to get in? Why do I let these people get under my skin? I don't know. I must have missed a lot of his comments because looking at these things here, Peter, Steve Marks, you're free to say whatever you want, but knowing Mitch, the way you attack Mitch in your comments is likely to either put you in a timeout or block completely. Well, I haven't blocked you completely, Steve. Not yet. I put you in a timeout. So I don't have to see it for a while. If you can stop being so nasty and disrespectful to me, because I'm not forcing you in here. It's not your job to find fault with everything I say. Everybody else in here disagrees with everything you say, and yet I'm trying to be tolerant, but you're just like a machine gun, relentless with the nonsense. That is mean, nasty, and evil when you're invited into somebody's place, and this is my place. You want a place? Start your own channel. I guarantee you one thing you can count on. I will never, ever pay any attention to anything you do, and you won't have to put up with me trying to prove how smart I am. Absurd. The human race, the dregs of humanity that we seem to dig out of some cesspool somewhere, just have to be mean and show how smart they are. Oh, wow. It's almost over. Thank you so much to Mary Beth. Buy some ribeye. I'll do that, Mary Beth. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I finally made it to 7:30 in the chat. Almost half an hour behind. I'm going through it. And believe it or not, I don't get stressed out because I don't hold it in. That's what a lot of people appreciate about knowing me, is they don't have to understand where they stand. I'll let them know what's on my mind. And I will I mean, I'll try to be nice, but nobody should have to put up with that. I've never watched a vegan video in my life or left a comment on anybody's channel that challenged them. I simply ignore them. Most often, I go into that little box that says, don't recommend this channel or hide this channel from my YouTube feed. I must have 10,000 YouTube channels at this time hidden from my YouTube feed, so I don't have to see even their stupid, ignorant thumbnails. I don't have a vegan video ever, once in a blue moon, come across my feed. And when it does, I don't even look at it. I just hide this channel. If I don't like the fellow, hide the channel. Just hide the channel. It's easy. All right, let's see what this is. This is Bride's. I know links don't work in the chat, but Google Cell Biology Symposium, Metabolic Responses to Stress from Animal to Cell, Poor Maternal Nutrition During Gestation, Effects on Offspring, Whole Body. Okay, it's probably bullshit. Psychobabble. Scientism. I like that. I like scientism. They have a lot of medical symposiums, too. I mean, tons of them. You can go, if you can find a symposium, any lunatic fringe group with some radical, stupid, nonsensical idea can have a symposium, and you can Google it and find it. Why don't you just Google this? Say, medical symposiums proving that meat causes cancer and diabetes. And you will find videos where groups of doctors are sitting in a hotel in Hawaii somewhere, munching on God knows lobster and steak, and talking about the evils of red meat and how everybody should eat a plant-based diet. None of that stuff means shit. There's no proof that any of it. People can talk about anything. Don't just take everybody's word for it. I finally got so cynical in my life that I don't believe anything anymore, unless I can find some way that it fits in to reality and actually makes common sense. Something that is totally and completely lost on the human race anymore. Prove me wrong. Just watch the news. Just watch the news. Peter's defending me. Yeah, thank you, Peter. Peter's defending me like a bodyguard. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, look at this. 4,000 carnivores in Denmark. Who knew? I'm surprised there aren't any more. There's more than 4,000 people in Denmark that eat meat. That's again, I think it's about definitions. We have to put a name on something. We have, and make rules that we have to maintain in order to continue to use that name for ourselves. We have to be in a club. We have to be in a club. We have to belong. You're right, Amy. You're right, Amy. Sometimes I just need to do that. Call it a cleanse. And it is. It's very freeing. And if it offends anybody, I'm sorry. But nobody's going to tell me how to behave. I'm just not going to have it. I'm almost 80 years old, for God's sake. My mother's been dead for 40 years. I'm sorry. Nobody has the right to tell me to watch my language. The mere fact that somebody would presume to give me an order to watch my language insults me. And I'm bound to react negatively to it and somehow get rid of that person because I will not be told. And if I have to go away to avoid that kind of bullshit, I will. I will hit the delete button on my channel so fast everybody will say, whatever happened to Mitch? I'll miss you. I'll regret it. I love you all. But keep it up. Keep telling me what I'm doing wrong, that I'm not good enough, that my language is not good enough. And I think considering what I hear on TV, I think I'm a little angel when it comes to that. But if any of you can't stand to hear the F word once in a while, you're living in the wrong world these days. And you don't belong here. And no matter how much I love you or how much you love me, if you can't, I'll allow you to say anything you want. You have my permission to say whatever you want in my presence. I will never correct you or never tell you how offended I am. I don't get offended. I only get offended at morons. And unfortunately, there are a lot of morons out there. But if every time I look at some huge, big non-religious YouTube channel, I hear F words coming out the wazoo. And yet they've got 30 million subscribers. Somebody out there isn't a tight ass, that's for sure. And that's the kind of audience I want. Common sense. Common sense. And Peter says, I love Mitch's rants. I hope so, because I say the things that most of us just want to say, but are afraid to offend somebody. I'm not afraid. George Carlin wasn't afraid to offend people, and everybody loved George Carlin except the most holy rollers that are out there. A holier-than-thou crowd. And George Carlin wouldn't put up with it either. And he's a hero of mine. Peter likes it, because I say all the things Peter's thinking. Wow, we're catching up here. 8 o'clock. Wow. How fast an hour flies when you're having fun. Tuka says, I'm offended if you don't curse once in a while. Well, we all do. We all do. You don't ever have to know how I feel. You don't have to guess. I wonder if Mitch likes that or not. You don't have to guess with me. And Bride Biscuit tells me I should read Gabor Mate if you want to understand how stress management. Well, stress caused by what? I never said stress wasn't dangerous. Stress is very unhealthy when it gets past a certain point. I never said that. What I'm saying is, just because you eat an animal that was stressed doesn't mean you're going to digest the stress and it's going to manifest itself in you. That's what I think is bullshit. I hope I made that perfectly clear. You can't eat stress. If the stress damaged the animal, maybe the nutrients are a little off, but you're not going to get stressed from eating that. You get stressed from living. Stress starts out in your brain, or by pain or by inflammation, but you can't worry about it. Rick, that iguana that you eat is stressed to the max, always running for his life, and yet somehow you prosper on it. You're the least stressed person I know. So I think if we want to do a study on does eating stressed animals affect your stress, we need to just use Rick as a study of one. Nothing stresses the guy out. And yet he eats ducks and iguanas, which live in constant fear and stress. Just utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. And I don't care who writes what. Honest to God, I don't care. You can name drop all day long. You never hear me name drop. You don't hear me telling you so-and-so wrote this book and it's gospel. I don't believe anything I read, anything, until I research it and figure it out for myself. And even then, I don't guarantee it's right. That's why I can't go to school. I can't listen to somebody else teach. I can't listen to lectures from nutritionists that are telling me meat is killing me. I can't listen to shit that I know is wrong. That's one of the things that drives me nuts about my friend Kiltsey. He's always quoting these authors. Most of them don't know what they're talking about. Most of them are writing opinion, and people take it as fact. I don't believe anything I read in the news. I don't believe anything anybody says anymore. And I'm 99% protecting myself against bullshit. And maybe I'll miss 1% of something meaningful. I can't read stuff that somebody else wrote. I can't do it. I will find usually within the first few pages something that just absolutely makes no common sense. When I watch somebody's video on YouTube, I rarely make it past 30 seconds or a minute in, especially when it comes to nutrition information. I don't care who it is. I just say, nope. I use the court's standards, trial standards, lawyer standards for witness testimony, and that is, if you catch a witness in any lie, you disregard everything they have said and might say. I approach life that way now. I don't know if that's bad or mean, but that's what happens to you when you have experienced the worst of it, and I have, dealing with people. I'm not a people person, believe me. Not anymore. I tried. Carnivore Denmark says he eats everything organic from the supermarket. Well, that's probably true. I don't believe, I don't take, I place no meaning or value in the labeling, any labeling on that's free range, pasture raised, organic. That's all marketing bullshit. If you really want to get an education, and they go to the FDA, the government's website, and find out, in order to use these labels legally, what standards do they have to meet? And it's laughable. Absolutely laughable. They are marketing. There's no guarantee. Go into the same supermarkets. If you're doing good on carnivore, try an experiment for 30 days. Don't buy any organic labeled stuff. Buy the cheapest crap that they sell. I'll bet you, if it's still the same chicken or food or animal food, you will not notice the difference in the way that you feel. Honest. I did it. And that's how come I can eat $5 a pound frozen hamburger patties and still do well, because they contain exactly the same stuff in them as the foo-foo, brightly labeled, highly marketed, much more expensive crap that they sell at the Whole Foods store. What a joke that is. Whole Foods. What a joke and a ripoff and a con. And no wonder Amazon bought it, because the profits are enormous, selling stuff for three times what it's worth. Simple Finds like squirrel. Why not? People eat squirrel, rabbit stew, squirrel stew. It's meat. It's got protein in it. And it doesn't matter what protein. All that matters is it has a broad enough variety of proteins to contain each and every one of the 20 amino acids we need, because when you eat meat, it doesn't take it long until all you got is an amino acid soup that doesn't remember whether it came from a squirrel or a cow. Fried squirrel. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Fried squirrel. Because of Mitch, we all know and love him. I must have been, at that point, I must have been really ranting and letting go with a few F-bombs. Feels good. It feels good. Steve said he's been a long-time viewer, loves you, but he just needs some friendly Mitch training. Well, I thought I recognized the name, but I just don't like it. I don't like somebody to come in here and keep trying to trip me up, make me look stupid because they're so smart. I don't like it. I don't need it. Be respectful. I'm not trying to be, I don't come in here and pick out somebody and just trash them for an hour. I leave that to Bart K and guys like that. That's their shtick. It's not mine. My shtick is to be helpful and make common sense and try to make it better for you, cheaper for you, and put up some warning signs about what I try to avoid, hoping maybe it'll help you. I don't want anybody to do anything I say. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. It's the last thing I want to do. I may love you, but I don't care. You're free. Nobody has the right to tell you. You're all grown-ups. We had enough of that crap from teachers and nuns and rabbis and policemen and all these authority figures that think that they have the right to control us and tell us what to do. I thought this was supposed to be a free country. Ideas can be debated, but that doesn't mean that you have to be nasty and scream and fight and start shooting at each other. That's what we do as human beings. Look at the world. Like Rodney, what's his face said, Rodney King, can't we just all get along? Well, no, we can't get along. We just can't get along. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate it. Mitch is the voice of reason. I try to be. And I'm not always right. But in the things I say, they make sense to me. Maybe someday I'll find out something new. And I change on a minute. I wear sneakers, so I can change direction like a tennis player on a minute's notice if new evidence comes up. I think I got to be getting near the end, 7:55, but the end keeps the end keeps getting further away. Time is funny that way. Yeah, I think, see that, I use Element as what I hate the most about most YouTubers in this space is they're always trying to sell you something that ain't worth a shit in my mind, that most carnivores who do it don't use the unsweetened stuff. They use the... When you got to have 12 different flavors of what you do, you are the problem, not the solution. When you have to have 12 different flavors and brag about how good they taste and how sweet they are, and you're selling to a carnivore audience, shame on you. You are perpetuating the addiction, doing nothing to help. And because you have one unflavored that tastes like salt and sell it for 20 times what it's worth, you think that that makes you holy. You and Athletic Greens and all of this other crap that you sell for $100 an ounce, that makes you a drug dealer. And how many drug dealers on the corners of America are concerned about the health and well-being of their customers? I recommend a couple supplements, but they're cheap as hell. And I think they're doing some good. The creatine, using the MCT pattern. That's great. The jury's still out. I haven't been doing it long enough, but I think I'm noticing some benefits from it, and it's harmless. And these are things that are in every food we eat. Every animal product we eat contains creatine. So you can't hurt yourself. It's like, with a little more creatine. The MCT oil stimulates ketosis, and you know how I feel about that. I think we pay much too much attention, but I think that with the morning coffee, with the caffeine that everybody says is going to kill you, and burrs with all my cigar smoking, how dare I smoke a cigar and talk about health? The oldest men on the planet that I've ever known were cigar smokers. Sometimes you gotta just look around at reality. The one thing that kills me is we keep talking about how healthy people were in the 50s. You hear it everywhere. Just look at a picture of people on the beach in the 50s. They're all skinny, they're all thin, they're all healthy. They all smoked, every one of them. My parents smoked, my grandparents smoked, everybody smoked back then. My doctor smoked. You can't have it both ways, my friends. You can't have it both ways. Sure, you suck enough bullshit into your lungs, you get emphysema. But I believe that most of the cancers that they got back then, especially the lung cancer, was a function of eating too much sugar. That's my opinion from my observations. I'm not going to argue about it. Hi, Jerry. Jerry says, Mitch's symposiums are the best. Yeah, I ought to put the word raw in the title of my morning coffee raw with Mitch. To me, the word raw equates with reality, truth that's observable in the raw. That word is also misused. Raw vegan. They sell a thing at Sam's called stevia. It's called stevia in the raw. Honest to God, it comes in a little packet. It has maltodextrin in it. Here you are buying an artificial sweetener that one of the main ingredients is sugar. And I fell for it. And I bought a box of this stuff. It was a big box. And I threw it away. I'd never use all that. Once I really learned what I was doing, when I tried to use artificial sweet, then I went and got the liquid stevia. And then I stopped using it altogether because I learned that once I stopped consuming the sweet things, the cravings went away. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I suppose that, well, I've still got over 100 of you here, so there are some adults in the crew, some people that aren't offended by things that aren't important, like language and a bad word. Let me get this straight. If you're thinking the word, you're a good person as long as you don't say it out loud. Is that how morality works? You can think about sexual deviant behavior, but as long as you don't say it, you're a good person and a moral and holy person. You can think about being a pedophile, but you can still be holy because nobody finds out. That's a problem with the holier than thou mentality. The mentality that says, do as I say, not as I do. Well, I approach this completely different. I show you what I do. It's up to you to believe whether it works. And I'm telling nobody what to do. The only thing I tell people to do at certain times is to go away, please. Rough Carnivore. Mitch can't listen to the wisdom of younger people. He said this in previous and perhaps a lot of times. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. One of the dumbest saying that I've ever heard is out of the mouths of babes. Where'd you get that one? I didn't know shit when I was a babe. Didn't know anything. Had no idea how it worked. Had no idea the depths that the human beings could sink to in deception and thievery and scams and frauds and hoaxes. Had no clue until I was a victim of so many of them that I finally became a cynic. There is no 20-year-old on the planet that has wisdom yet. By virtue of the definition of wisdom, it requires experience. And the only thing a 20-year-old can have great experience and maybe even make a fortune is because they learn to be deceptive. That is an innate quantity of all living things and necessary for survival, the art of deception. That does not make them wise. What makes you wise is living through it and learning from it. Most don't even do that. They either don't live through it or they never learn a thing. I'm not listening to 20-year-olds. And I don't care if they listen to me. They're not listening to me anyway. Because when I was 20, I thought anybody over 40 was an old fool, and so do they. That's the reality. And that's where I live. I live in reality. Not the way we all want things to be. Not fantasy. Reality. It is what it is, regardless of what we want it to be. And I find it a lot easier to survive in this world just staying away from the bullshit rather than trying to change it. I've been trying to do that all my life, and I can't do it. You can't fix it at this point. You can only try to survive within its confines. And most of us in this community are at least doing a pretty good job at that. And again, it's so simple. Just eat meat. Am I ever going to get the end of the chat? Not at this rate. I'm looking for QQQs. I haven't seen a lot of them. Maybe people don't want to question me today. I'm not gonna blow up at you. I'm not gonna be mad at you if you ask a question. Like this, Lady June, question, just sent a donation for the swear jar. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did I get some coffees? Let's see. Did Lady June buy me a coffee? Yes, I did. Let me thank people. Oh, wow, look at this. We have I didn't say. I see Jerry Voitish bought me a coffee this morning. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. And Lady June did send me a donation. $25. Thank you, June. Love the rants. She said, God, are you sweet. Thank you. I think maybe I've discovered the key to YouTube riches and fame. Just keep swearing. People send you money. June, you're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. You know I always appreciate that. You made my day, and it ain't the money. It's the thought. It's the thought. Thank you so much, June. If I said thank you, I really mean it. Rick says, Mitch drinks coffee and smokes a big fat cigar and has a mind sharper than most 20-year-olds. So there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But I think the reason, and I'll go long today because this is fun, and as long as you're still watching, I'll keep talking. I got nothing else, nowhere else to be this morning. I think my arrogance, and I don't like to think that I'm an arrogant person. Maybe it's the fact that I just won't tolerate disrespect. I don't demand respect. I try to earn respect from everybody I come in contact with. And that's not a bad way to be, because I think respect needs to be earned. You can't respect somebody because somebody else does you have to. It's what I couldn't stand about the military. I liked a lot about the military, but what I couldn't stand was that I was told that if I don't respect this particular a-hole, I'd be court-martialed and be in trouble. I have to salute him. I have to say, yes, sir. I have to follow every order he gives me, regardless of what it makes. I can't do that. Can't do that. Never could. That's why I didn't re-enlist in the military. After my thing was up, they offered me a fortune. They offered me like 30 grand way back then as a real enlistment bonus because I was very talented and valuable to them in the field I was in. I basically flashed them the double-barrel middle finger and said, thank you very much, but no thank you. And from that minute on, I never worked for a soul. I have never been employed by anybody. I have always owned my own companies. I've always been the boss. I've always done it my way and always told everybody, including my customers, if you don't like the way I do it, you're working in the wrong place or you're buying from the wrong place. If you don't love it, leave it. I've always been that way. I still am. And that accounts for the fact that I just don't like to be told that somebody disapproves of me. You can disagree with me all day long. And if you disagree with every word I say and constantly come in and keep trying to disagree with me, it's going to get on my nerves. And I'm going to shut you down. I don't want to hurt you. I don't care who you are. I want you to have the very best in life and have everything you want and do it your way. It just happens that your way, it may not be my way. And the best thing that we can do is part company. Like a bad marriage. There comes a time in every marriage where you just need to be divorced. At one point, you may have loved the hell out of them. They may have been your everything. Every divorce started that way. Every one of them started with that. You may kiss the bride. And more than half of them end up in bitter, screaming court fights, all about money and the kids. That's just how it is. Sometimes you just need to get a divorce. I will grant any one of my viewers or friends a uncontested divorce. If you just want to say, Mitch, I've had enough of you, I would say, it's been great. I enjoyed it while it lasted, but obviously we have irreconcilable differences now, and where do I sign? That's the easiest way to go through life. Easiest way to go through life. Peter wants my morning shows to be back to 1.5 or 2 hours. It may be that that's happening all by itself, Peter, and it's okay with me as long as people keep watching. But if I see the viewer count start to go, like now it's 95 and then it'll be 85, and people got to get on with their day. Thank you, Michael. Shame on you for your language. If I had a way to, fuzz that out, no, I'm joking. You know what tastes like chicken? Another chicken. Yes, another effing chicken. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for a little brazen reality. Rough carnivore likes that, man. That's great. That's great. Everybody likes that. I gotta keep going here. Gotta keep scrolling. I'm at 8:11. Still 20 minutes behind. Wow. You guys keep chatting. I'm trying to catch up, and I'm chasing a moving target here. Okay. 8:20. Sneaking up on it. I will watch the replay, and I'm going to read every bit of the chat. I'll probably get just as pissed off about the ones that bother me, but I'm going to read them anyway. Thank you, Lance. Rant mode rating A++ today. Truly loved it. Didn't disagree with one word you said. Thank you, my friend. You are a gentleman and a scholar. And to be truthful, there aren't many of us left. Aren't many of us left. Not in this world. I don't think I got too out of control today. But I'm beginning to think, and I've said it before, that my morning show is like a NASCAR race. People don't come. They come to see the train wrecks. And when I rant like that, I seem to give it to them. Maybe that's why Bart Kay is popular, because he just doesn't hold back. I don't want to make enemies, though. The last thing in the world I want to do is make enemies and get a stalker or somebody that just hates me so bad. I don't want to do that. Sometimes I have to, establish my boundaries for what I'm willing to tolerate, and I just can't tolerate somebody that keeps coming at me with obvious nonsense, not only just for me, but they put it out in a public discourse. And maybe they put some questions in the minds of maybe a new viewer of mine that doesn't know me so well, hasn't been around so long. And they may miss something that may have helped them because of this person. Don't do that to me. Let everybody judge my credibility and the credibility of my message on their own. They don't need your help. At least I hope not. Because how do they know you're right and not me? And it's the sarcasm that gives it away. It's the sarcasm. I joke about it. I wear shirts about how I'm a member of the National Sarcastic Society. And on that shirt that I have, it has a yellow square like the National Geographical Society, and it says National Sarcastic Society, and then down below it says, like we need your support. I love sarcasm. Don't ever enter into a sarcasm contest with me. I'm a sarcasm master after a lifetime of this stuff. But when people start coming at me with this sarcasm, well, I suppose that, this is what I hear. Well, I suppose that you're saying that this is right then, huh? Go away. I don't need that attitude. I'm not going to put up with it because you're acting like a moron. And you're telling the world you're a moron, and all my other viewers know you're a moron, so why embarrass yourself and aggravate me? What does that say about you? So I reach a point where I'm just done, and it's like a machine gun. It just keeps coming, one after another. And pretty soon your tolerance is gone, and you say, just go away. Just stop it. Stop it, please. Barry Simon keeps sending me AI stuff. The last one had the caption on it, can't stop. Barry is addicted to that. I'll look at them after the stream, Barry. He sent me 3 new ones. Holy cow. Holy cow. So I'm at the bottom of the chat, and the last entry is Terry. He says some people shouldn't be married. Yeah, it's true. Once you get to be 60 or 70 and you haven't found the love of your life yet, I think you're better off going it alone the rest of the way. That's been my personal discovery. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there about that. Don't get married again after 60. I don't think that advice may be right for everybody, but I think it certainly has been for me. Well, all good things and aggravating things must come to an end, my friends, and I'm going to continue on with our hump day. We'll say goodbye music, get a little happy music there. I'm really fine. I'm not that aggravated. I don't hold it in, that's all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm not really sorry. I think a lot of you appreciate people that actually say what's on their mind, not what they think they need to say to conform to your standards and ideals. That's the problem we got today. That's dishonest. That's not honesty. Somebody that will say what you want to hear rather than what they really think is a dishonest person. That's an actor. That's a pitch man. A con man. When you say things because you think it will accomplish or get you what you want from that person, as opposed to maybe alienate them. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. So, I had fun. I will see you tomorrow night, Thursday evening, in the members community. We'll be able to say whatever's on our mind without worrying about offending the holier than thou among us. And maybe smoke a cigar. And be humans. And that's a real happy place that I enjoy it. And then back again Friday morning for Morning Coffee with Mitch. So my friends, I'm playing the beginning music, not the happy music. I pushed the wrong button. There it is. Okay, well, we'll go out on that note. Silly me. Silly me. I like the blues, though. But this is the happy music. Until I see you again. Take the rest of the day off. Wow, 8:37. 1 hour and 37 minutes. Oh, well. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.